Hello and welcome back to Hof Bergmann. Just bringing over, I think, my 5th calf now. Or, no, 6th calf. The one thing I have noticed, though, is this calf here seems to be, like, unwell. Or it just wants to lie down all the time, I don't know. It's kind of strange. But since I put it in there, it just, yeah. It's just lying down. Now, I do know previously, in the beta version, you'd go into animal supplies and you had medicine. But from what I can understand from the actual update notes on the final version, they did take that out, so I don't know if it's just random every now and again, because that one seems fine, so who knows. But I will keep a close eye on that. So let's just give him some calf milk. There we go. So we've got quite a lot of calves now. We've got 6. Unfortunately, one's looking a little bit under the weather, but hopefully he'll be okay. Fingers crossed. But we are doing well. We've got quite a lot going on. So let's just shut the gate. And that's the cow sorted out. So all the animals are actually sorted out. There's a few things I want to do in this episode. I'm going to be tackling the Silphie. I'm going to sort out the TMR for the young bulls as well. And we're also going to go on around and get some of the animal fat and the used vegetable oils. So we can pretty much do our own fuel. That's the aim. And then while we're doing all that, we're going to set up these 2 tractors to go and plant on some course place. So what I've got is my planter that's got some sunflower seeds in, because we want to do some mayonnaise and get vegetable oil and all that. And then we've got this seeder that's got some rye in, because I thought we may as well do some rye. So let's go set this one up first on a course play. I'm thinking of doing maybe field 2 as rye and field 3 as the sunflowers. I think that'll be good. So let's set him going probably about here, and this will be fine. There we go. Didn't want to pop up then, so we want field work. Field 2 we'll do. Let's go with 3 headland passes and then massive overlap, just because I want to try and avoid missing bits, even though it always seems to happen, especially on the edges. And that's probably a little bit too much with me being 18 meters. Let's start that again. Definitely don't want to be doing that. 1 will be plenty. There we go. So let me just realign him a little bit, and he should be good to go. Make sure it's first waypoint as well, as always. And then there we go. Set him going. Oh, before we do that, we want to make sure he's scanning, because he won't automatically turn the scanner on. So let's start that again. But this time, turn the scanner on, and then press go. Job done. So he is already missing a tiny bit on the edge. Maybe the boundaries aren't set up that well. I thought that when I did the course play here, when I was cultivating. Oh well, let's get hooked up to the right piece of kit. Probably the last one. There we go. And then we'll do the bigger field now for this. Alright, so I did just notice that actually it's not 18 meters. It was calculating the front attachment, so the scanner. Same with this one. So I have reset this going. That's all sorted out now. It's doing the right 12 meters on that, whereas this one's 9 meters. So pretty much everything's the same. So I have generated the field already. I have set it as well on seeding, not on field work. So there is a seeder 1 option here. And now, fingers crossed, it's scanning on the front. We should set it going. And it should work a treat, which it is. So that's more like it. I mean, this one, I only noticed after a few bits, and yeah, you can tell where I started it. It was missing this bit, and I must have started it just up here, so you can probably see that it sorts itself out all of a sudden. So hopefully, yeah, it won't. Well, we won't be having missed bits anymore anyway. So at least that's sorted. Right, so let's do this rounds. We may as well. I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually fill up with some old vegetable oil from the inn, which has now got 2,000 litres in. So we'll fill the tanker up first with the 2,000 litres of this, and then we'll go around to all the other destinations for the animal fat, and then we'll pump it all in and hopefully get a good amount of fuel. I think we should get, I'm not sure the exact ratios, but we should get a good amount anyway. Let's just check where it's at. It's nearly there. Now we're obviously going to have to drop this off first before we move over to the animal fat. So there we go, it's full up. So let's go drop this off. But then what we'll do is we'll have to come back down this end to go to the butcher, and then we need to go to the slaughterhouse, and then finally up to the skinnery. And then we should have from that 9,000 in this too, so 11,000 litres of usable material, let's say, to generate some fuel. Now I don't know exactly, like I said, how much we're going to get, but I'm hoping we get a good amount. I mean, these tractors don't actually, if you get 5,000 litres of fuel, it's going to last you quite a while. But there's always the option for us to sell it, because we can sell it to the petrol station at the back. So we should probably try every 5 days, because it seems like that's what it was for me, 5 days. We should try every 5 days to collect this, turn it into fuel or biodiesel, and then go and sell it if we're not using it. We could fill up our 2 fuel tankers on the farm and then go and sell the rest. Because fuel is good price as well, so it's not like it's not gonna be worth it in the end. It's definitely gonna be worth the effort. There we go, so it's now emptying in. Now I did try this out with a hose and it's not compatible. I did put the hose somewhere, it definitely is somewhere. So we've got 2,000 in, but before I turn it on, I'll go and get some animal fat, definitely. So I think with where we are now, it's probably a good idea to go all the way up here to the slaughterhouse, and then we'll move over to the skinnery, basically, or animal body disposal, and then we'll come back down this way, do a full loop. Right, so we've just gone past the dairy, so the slaughterhouse should just be here on the right. And we're looking for some IBCs, basically. There they are. Just over there. 3 of them. Which is probably why you get 3,000 litres, because I'm sure there was 2 sitting at the inn. So it must be 1,000 litres for each IBC. There we go. So we'll let that fill up and then we'll move on to the next place. So doing these fuel runs, it's actually made me realise I need to get some AdBlue at some point. Right, so where are the IBCs around here? Oh, they're there. Now, these are 2 IBCs, so if we get 3,000, ignore what I said before. I obviously don't know nothing about the IBCs. Nope. So it's still 3,000, so it's not 1,000 per IBC, I think. It's just 3,000 if it's animal fat. And 2,000 if it's old vegetable oil at the inn. This guy here, basically, he's going to get rid of dead animals. That's his job, and you have to pay him a fortune to do it, so you may as well put them in your compost heap, to be honest, to save yourself quite a bit of money. So obviously I'll just let this continue to fill up, and then we'll move on to the final place, which is the butcher. Right, so the last place on our fuel run is the butcher. And at the same time, we can actually have a look to see how he's got on with the suckling pigs, because it is the next in-game day, so he should have hopefully done everything that he needed to do with that. And then if he has, we'll have to come back at some point to pick him up. There we go, so that's another 3,000 litres, which will bring us to 9,000. So he has processed. This is now the suckling pig, so we just need to pick these up and sell them. Right, so I've emptied out all the possible places we can go to get animal fat. So let's head back to where we can process this, hopefully into some fuel in this episode. That would be good. Now, I don't know exactly how long it's going to take to process, but we can at least try and get some done. Now, luckily, the guy in field 3, I think it was, or field 2, let me just check that. Field 2 is done. The guy in field 3 is still going, which makes sense because it was smaller. But we will need that tractor, so that's yeah, good timing, because when we do the Silphie, we're going to need the most powerful one to cart, because it means I can use the bigger capacity trailer. So I have got that all hooked up, but I think after we've done this fuel, we'll probably move over to the young bulls and get them all sorted with some TMR, definitely, so we can make them a little bit more productive. Now the pigs, I've reproduced quite a bit, to be honest. I can hold 30 in that pen, and I've now got 21, so as soon as we hit 30, what I'll do is I'll take some straight away for some meat packs, probably half of them, and I'll just keep doing that, so every time it gets to 30 I'll take them. Now, with me not playing with seasons, we don't have to wait for them to be fully grown or a certain weight. Technically, as soon as they're in that pen, they are an adult pig. So I think if we look down here, maybe not the best angle to do it on. There's a dial there, and it is actually going up, so that is pretty neat. There we go. So I think now all we need to do is bring up the F1 menu first, and then we need to turn it on. Little beacon's going off, and yeah, over time what will happen is you'll see this fill up, I guess, on that side, and you'll see it there turn into fuel. So hopefully we can get 11,000 litres of fuel. I don't know if it works out like that, but we'll find out. While I'm here, I may as well clean this tractor off because it has got pretty filthy. Let's get this done quickly. It's always better to have a clean tractor than a dirty one. I think that'll do. Right, so let's move over to the young bulls and let's get this sorted out. There we go. Didn't want to do that. We could also quickly just sort this bull out so he's still doing his thing. It is something that I keep forgetting to keep coming back to. As long as I keep trying to remember every now and again, at some point I'll get to the point where I do want to sell the actual contents of what he's creating. So let's just go and fill up another container And then we'll try and figure out which one it is. There you go. It's randomly gone into that one. And make sure we refrigerate it. There we go. Job done. Now, I don't know if there's an exact ratio on this. But we'll find out. There's a lot of manure coming out as well. So I have bought some more cows. That's why my money did go down. I've upped the 2 young bull yards, the ones with the brown cows in. They've now got an extra 10, so they're up to 15. And the same with the blacks. The black breed of young bulls, they've now gone up to 15 as well. So pretty cool. Should be a lot more productive, hopefully. Well, they should reproduce a lot more anyway. So have I got a rear weight? I don't know if I have. I might just spawn a rear weight in, just in case I do need one. I think it might be a good idea. Let's just spawn one in. Makes sense. Right, so there we go. So let's go and have a quick look at this and just try and weigh it up and see what we're going to need. Hopefully it's pretty self-explanatory. So it doesn't tell you exactly. I think with this machine, I think we just need to fill it up with either the silage and the straw and the hay and let it do its mix. And then I think it should just mix it up. So I don't think we need to worry about that. So we can turn it on. And we can close the bale. So we don't want to do that. I don't think I can turn it on until I've put stuff in, that's right. So let's get out, first off, let's get out 3 hay bales. See how much this holds. Because it does look like it's going to hold quite a bit. Now this is why I got a rear weight, because I did want to pick up more at a time. And so far, it's holding out well. There we go. So let's have a look at it now. So pretty much it's going to hold probably 5 bales. So let's go and get 2 more and we'll try and max this out. So the only thing with these, well, that's not what you want to do. Yeah, the only thing with these actual triggers, if you go forward too much, you'll notice that they just go straight back in. And I forget it all the time. So I end up just taking them out and putting them back in. There we go. So that's, it says that's full. So I don't know if I need... Now I'm hoping, even though it looks massively full, I haven't just overfilled it, because it still says I can put straw in it. It looks that way anyway, but there's only one way to find out. Let's get some silage bales and see what happens. I might have completely messed this up. Let's take 5 out, just in case. Tell you what, if I could pick 4 up, this would be good. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. But we can have a go. Somehow I'm picking 4 up. So this will be a good test to see if it is actually full. And if it is, well, I'm going to have to empty some hay out, unfortunately. Nope, that's good. That is good to see. So 1 more bale of silage and then we'll go and get 5 bales of straw, and then we can turn it on, it'll obviously process it, and we're then going to have the option of obviously keeping it in there, or we can actually put it into that feed silo, which I think I'm going to do because I want to try it out. And it is, you don't need, I've done it again, I've pushed it back in. Let's try that one more time. So yeah, what I was saying about the feed silo is it is pretty good because you can just pour underneath it, and you also don't have to get the hopper to pump into it, so you can just tip into it, just that silo over there. So we'll try it out anyway. There we go. So the nearest straw looks like they're all up here. So we'll have to take 4 out, and now I am going to try and carry 4 because why not? It might work, it might not, who knows? There's only one way to find out. I've got a little bit of it tipping at the back, I'll be honest. It looks like it's on its limit now with 4, but we are picking up 4. Now, if these were the normal bale sizes that I do, which is around 6,000 litres, we'd probably struggle at this now. Well, that worked out. One more bale and then it's pretty much done. Maxed out. We're going to have a lot of feed in there, and for the amount of cows that we've got now, probably won't have to do it for a while. So it makes you think, with the amount of feed you've already got when you start this map, do you really need to do any more? Not for the cows, not for the animals anyway. I'd say you're going to be doing it just to sell. Eventually over time you'd get to the point where you'd make your own, but a lot of the pens don't hold that many animals, especially on the farm. I wish the trigger for that wasn't as sensitive. Right, so last but not least, this straw bale. And that now should be full. So let's have a look at what it says. As you can see, it's all full. I'll turn it on and it's starting to process. So I'm guessing we just need to give it time to mix. We'll close that. Usually you get like some information of how long it's going to take, but what we'll do first is we'll drop off the rear weight. Probably just plonk it here. And then we'll get attached to the actual trail and just see if we can instantly tip out some TMR. Maybe it mixes up as it's coming out. So it's not letting me fill up yet. So what I'll do is I'll give it a bit, I'll speed up time probably, and we'll just see how long it's going to take until it's processed. You can see that it still says 0 on the mixing ratio. So yeah, I'll speed up time so we can actually have a look and see how long it does take. Right, so I have sped up time a little bit, as you can probably tell. It's now 12:30. And what's really nifty about this is obviously processing, as you can see. Probably can't get the mouse up to show you, but you can see where it says mixing ratio. Obviously it's done 12,500 litres, but it's actually processing the silage and the hay the same way it would, kind of like a 2-to-1 on what it would to straw. So you can see the straws, it's a little bit like higher. So it's really good because you can just fill it up and let the actual mixer sort out the ratios itself, and then when you're underneath it, you can obviously process some like this. And we've got now a mixing ratio going into here, which we can carry on going around the actual animal pens, and we can feed them up with TMR now, so they should be happy. And we also need to give them some straw. Desperate need for straw as well. And as soon as we've done that, we'll go and lease out a forage harvester, and we'll crack on with doing some Silphie, because that is going to be quite a big job. Right, so I'm just going over to the last pen. I've put all the straw in. I'm just feeding this last young bull pen now with some TMR, and they should be all sorted. They're not actually taking that much as well, which is pretty interesting. So like I said, you're probably going to have a lot of this for a hell of a lot of time. Now, probably going to need some kind of silo hopper for this. What I've been thinking about is, yes, it's going to be easy to tip, but can I fit the trailer underneath there? So what you need to do is pull this lever, and then obviously go underneath, and you can start filling. To put in, you open that, and then you can reverse. Technically, if you can drive properly in a straight line, might help. There you go. So now we can tip straight into this, and this is now going to fill up. And there is a dial there that's going up, and I will go on the other side so you can see properly. But let's just see if we can actually fill back up from it. We might need some different type of trailer. But you can see that it's got a 6,500 TMR in here on this food dispenser. So now we've opened up the hopper door at the bottom. So let's see if we can fill up. I doubt we can. I mean, we might be able to, but we might have to be so precise. I think we can, just about. Corn? No. And there you go, so we can actually fill back up. How cool is that? So you could actually process and just keep processing, fill up that silo as much as you want to the feed, and then eventually start taking it from there. But I think with all that being said, we've done pretty well. Now these are going to be at 100% soon. If we just have a quick check of them, you can see that 15 cows in each one, and they're pretty much going to start getting to 100%, which should mean that we get our next animal a little bit quicker. So at least they're all sorted. So I think for the last thing, it's going to be the biggest job, which is the Silphie. Let's go and put some of that in the pit, start making some silage from it. So I'm all hooked up to the trailer, and the class forage harvester that I've just leased out is pretty much waiting for us in the field 11, which is where the Silphie is. So let's get down there. Got my front weight, gone with the biggest trailer I own, which does hold Silphie, luckily. I'm probably going to get a lot thinking about it, because it isn't the smallest field, it's a good size. It's that big yellow field there on the hill, so there is a lot of it. And it kind of looks like sunflowers, so it's not quite like it. It's a lot more grassy than sunflowers, but you can see that it's got some kind of similarities to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm obviously going to set this up on a course play in the forage harvester, and we're going to do the carting. Just trying to get up so you can actually see the actual crops here. As you can see, it's got a little bit of a sunflower kind of look to it. Obviously a lot taller and also a lot more grassy, if that makes any sense. Right, so let's set that going. First one. Right, so now he's cracking on with it. We can see that we've got Silphie chopped in the actual trailer. It's going to be difficult to probably go around this, I'll be honest. He's only going 3 miles an hour, it seems, which is quite a slow pace. So maybe I can try and go round the tree or behind him. Or we could try and fit through. I think we should. I just can't believe he's going 3 miles an hour. Or she is. It's going to be a very slow-paced job. So I am filling up quite quick. I'm at 44%, 20,000 litres. And this is a lot, it really is. But let's have a look at the actual texture of it. So it technically just looks like fresh maize. And that's what it's going to come out as, like a maize silage. So definitely something different though. I do like the look of it, the way the crop looks. It's pretty impressive. Right, so I'm full up, so let's head back and fill up. I mean, look at the amount that we've done in the field. I'm already 50,000 litres. This is insane. But I think this is going to be a great opportunity to actually make some money at the BGA. So by the time this is all in the pit and fermented, we're going to have to transfer it over to the BGA. Now, I could use the pit up at the BGA. There's nothing stopping me from doing that because I do own it. It might be a good option to do that. Thinking about it. Yeah, I think I'll do that. It's a good idea. I think we'll go to the pit up at the BGA. It's a little bit extra for us to drive, but I think it will just make more sense to do that with where we're at. So this is probably going to take me quite a while. This is a big job. I will put a time lapse in at some point, but what I'll probably do now is after I've put this first load in this bunker, I might do a few more loads and then cut back in, do my time lapse, so you can see me progressing through pretty much like halfway, midpoint, and then we'll see where we're at, because it is going to take quite a while to do this, especially with the amount that it looks like we're going to get, and then we've obviously got to compact it and all that kind of stuff, so we'll see where we're at. Looks like the texture is actually different in the trailer than it is on the ground, which is interesting. So there's the first load. Doesn't look like much, but 50,000 litres in a BGA is quite a bit of money. So this should be definitely profitable. So I'll get busy doing this for a bit. I'll take a good chunk out of it and then I'll cut back in, and then I'll probably, like I said, do a bit of a time lapse, and then hopefully we're near enough done. Right, so I'm on my 7th or 8th load. This is a massive yield kind of crop. With it being 3 miles an hour as well, it is taking some serious time. I think I'm about 7 or 8, I can't remember. If you want to make some serious money, Silphie is definitely going to be the way to go. And as you can see, it's pretty much, with the size of this pit as well, hardly made a dent. But I think that field, from the rate I'm getting through it, would probably fill this pit up. But I think with the amount of time that it's actually taking me to do, I'm probably going to finish this off in between episodes. It just makes more sense. But what I will do quickly is I'll just have a look at how much I've got in the pit. I do like the texture of it when it's loose like that on the ground. It does look good. But let's have a look at the amount I've got. I've got 342,000 litres, which is a shed ton. To do in single player on your own, it's a shed ton. And if you actually have a look at the field, I haven't really got through that much. So let's go back over here. You can see, if I just jump up, you can see how much I've actually got through. I'm on my 3rd row, 3rd headland. So yeah, this field's going to give a serious amount and definitely should fill up that pit. So if you want to make some serious money at the BGA, I imagine that this might be the way to go. Without question. But yeah, I'll continue this in between this episode and the next one, because if I put a time lapse on as well, with it being only 3 miles an hour, it won't really be the best kind of time lapse to do. So I think it's better for me to just finish it off, get it compacted, and then probably at the start of the next episode we'll see the total volume that I got, and also where I'm at and how long it's going to take to ferment. Right, so before I end the episode, let's just have a quick look at the fuel. And as you can see, I've progressed to 3,833 litres. And yeah, it looks like we're going to get exactly the same amount of fuel for the amount of oil slash fats that we put in, which is pretty good, because if you look at the price of fuel, 1,900 at the gas station, this is serious money every 5 days for you to sell what you're processing, which is around, what, 11,000 litres every 5 days. That's some good money, that really is. So that is good to know, and also it means you don't have to pretty much buy any more fuel for your tractors as well. So I do like this feature. I think it can be quite profitable, and if you do it with vegetable oil instead of using old vegetable oil and animal fats, you could probably even make even more money. You really could. Right, so on that note, I am going to leave the video there. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos like this one on Farming Simulator.